Hi, this is Gary with MACMOST.com. Let me show you everything you can do with video and audio files on your Mac without even needing to launch an app. MACMOST is brought to you thanks to a great group of more than 2,000 supporters. Go to MACMOST.com/Patreon. There you could read more about it, join us, and get exclusive content and course discounts. So of course, if you have a video file or an audio file on your Mac, you can open it up in various different apps that handle that kind of file, even in QuickTime Player, and do lots of different things with it. But you can also do a lot with these files without opening up any app. For instance, let's say you've got a video like this, and if I were to double click it, it would open in QuickTime Player, and you could see there's a problem here. The video was filmed in portrait mode, but you ended up with video that's rotated 90 degrees. You can correct that without even needing to go to an app. If you just bring up the context menu for this file by either control clicking it, two-finger clicking on a trackpad, or right-clicking on a mouse, you can go to Quick Actions, and one of the options you should have is Rotate Left. If you use that, it'll rotate the video, and now when I double-click it to open, you could see it's rotated the right way. Now you can get to those quick actions another way. If you go to View and then Show Preview, not only do you get a nice preview on the right, but there's room for 2 quick action buttons. You can also click more here and Customize, and this will determine whether or not these are even active. So you can see here I do have Rotate Left active, and it's the first one, so it's going to appear first here in the list. Now you can see here the next quick action button is Trim, and you can of course also get to it this way. And if I use this, I can trim the video, and you can see I'm still in the Finder here. I haven't launched an app. This is just built-in macOS system functionality. Now I've got this view here, and I can actually play the video. I can also grab the left end and the right end and trim the video to exactly where I want. I can revert or click Done, and it would perform the trim, taking out the part before and after. Now you can also play video right here in the Finder. One way to do it is just simply to have this preview pane open here on the right, and you can click there to play. You can also, if you're in icon view, see this video here, and there's actually a play button. And you could play the video and see a tiny little video player right there as the icon. Now a better way to do this, especially if you're not using icon view, is to use Quick Look. So you can control click and then choose Quick Look, but the best way to get there is just simply to select the file and press the space bar. And this turns into a little video player. You can pause, you can jump ahead and back. You can even choose playback speed here. You can jump into the trimming tool, and you can rotate here as well. Another thing you can do in Quick Look is you can get text. So notice here, if I move my pointer over text while the video is paused, I can select the text and then Command-C to copy it. I also got this little button here that I can click, and it will show me where it finds text. And then I can copy all of the text. You can also use Quick Look to copy a frame from a video. So with the video paused here, I can two-finger click or right-click on it, and you can see I've got Copy Image. So I can copy it to the clipboard, or I can share it right from here. Choosing Share does allow me to airdrop this as a file, or email it, or send it in messages, even add this frame as a photo to my Photos library. Another thing you can do is if you clearly have a subject in the photo, notice that if I right-click or two-finger click, I get Copy Subject, and it will outline the subject there. And I can copy just the subject with a transparent background behind. And I can also share directly. So I can share the subject right here to messages, for instance, and you could see what I get. Also in Quick Look, when you have the video paused and there's something in the frame that can be identified, you'll see a little info button here, and you can click and it could get info on what it found. Another thing you could do with video that's not a quick action is to convert it. So if I'm going to convert this video here, I can go into the context menu, and not under Quick Actions but under Services, there's Encode Selected Video Files. And it brings up this little control here. The controls itself is a little messed up, but it works perfectly fine. You can choose some various different settings here for the type of video you want to export. You can choose a destination or use the same as source, and you can choose whether this replaces that file. And then if you continue, you'll just get a new version of this video, and you can see it right here. Now for audio files, you can do a lot of this stuff too. So here I have a WAV file, and notice I have the trim option available here or under Quick Actions like that. So I can go in and I can trim the audio, and I can play a little bit of it to hear it. get what I want, and click Done. You can also play back audio a variety of different ways. One is to use the preview here on the right. You can see there's a little play button in the middle of it. If I am in icon view, then I can actually play the audio by just clicking on the icon. I can also use the spacebar and go to Quick Look, and you can see I get playback controls here just like in a video. There's just nothing to show up here. You also have the ability to convert audio, but only from certain formats to certain other formats. So for this WAV file here, I can go to Services and there's Encode. And from a WAV file, I can encode it in one of 4 different ways. High quality, iTunes Plus, Apple Lossless, which will be the highest quality, and Spoken Podcast, which is going to be like the lowest quality. So if you really want to see what these do, you need to select one and then set the destination. I'll set it to not delete. I'll continue. It's going to convert it. You can see it here saved as an MPEG file. So M4A is the extension, but you could change that to MP4 if you wanted to. And then here you can see that this is 600K, whereas the original was more than 21 megs. But you won't get the same options with other types of files. Like for instance, with MP3 files, you won't be able to encode it to anything. If I choose any encoder here, it's going to give me an error. The same thing with MP4 file. And notice the MP3 file doesn't even give me the trimming option. Only the MPEG file and the WAV file do that. So you're kind of limited to what you can do. But if you have a bunch of files and this works for you, you can save a lot of time. You can even batch convert. So I've got 2 WAV files here. And if I were to go to Services and Encode, and then select something like, let's say, Spoken Podcast to make them smaller, and then continue, it's going to convert both of those. One other thing that you can do with audio and video files is you can get information on them without going into an app. So with a video file like this selected, I can choose File and Get Info or Command I. And notice here under More Info, you can open and close this section here. It's going to give me things like dimensions, it's going to give me the codec, and various other information about the file. And the same thing for audio files. You can see under More Info, I get things like duration and sample rate and such. And of course, you can open up audio and video files in a variety of different apps, including QuickTime Player, which will allow you to do a lot more. And you can do things like, for instance, share the files from the Finder to send them to somebody else over AirDrop or maybe mail or messages, or maybe to add a video or audio file to, say, Notes. Hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, click the thumbs up button below to let me know. I publish new tutorials each weekday. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out.